Hello, and welcome.
Hi, Rob.
We have our friend Rob McDonald here.
What's up, guys?
He had a farm.
Oh my god! What am I in fucking middle school?
Yes.
Yes.
We are all in middle school in our spirits and in our hearts.
I mean, that's cool with me.
This is actually a really special episode for me because I actually I get to play in a band with this fucking guy, and we share a lot.
What?
Yeah, dude.
We play in a band together?
Yeah, wake up,
Wait,
buddy.
you guys-
Dude.
You guys know each other?
Yeah, we met once or twice before.
Oh my god, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, it's actually really cool because when we started doing this podcast, we didn't know what we were gonna do, and then we're like, "Yo, we should get some guests on it." And the fact that he was one of the first to pop up in our heads, and the fact that he's here on a school night is sick.
This is bullshit.
And I'm an admin still, apparently.
You're a moderator.
You're
Whatever, Billy. Whatever.
you're an acquaintance.
That's just as important as an admin. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay.
very true, very true.
Because you can still post shit, share shit, invite people.
I'm not gonna fuck with it at all. In fact, if you want to remove me, by all means.
No.
I literally
dude,
just
I would
did it.
never remove you, dude. Can never do
All right,
that.
I'm gonna remove him though.
Sick.
So we have a new drummer on the line?
Yeah, his name's
Oh,
Billy Sweet.
It seems like you guys go through drummers often.
All right, this isn't an interview with Takers Leavers. This is an interview with Rob McDonald.
Welcome to No Consents
yeah.
Podcast
Yeah.
and Rob McDonald. Woo!
Thanks for having me,
Let's
y'all.
start with you introducing yourself and telling us who the fuck you are, dude.
Hi, guys. My name is Robert Lannis McDonald.
Hi,
Can
Robert.
you repeat the middle name one more time?
My middle name is Lannis. That's Lannis.
That sounds very that sounds very Targaryen of you.
What, did you have you ever asked your
McDonald.
Sounds like you are the
Wouldn't
manager
it
of
be more
Target.
like Lannister-ish?
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm canceled.
You guys are fucking dumb. He's a Baratheon, dude.
Dude, he's got the fucking hair of a Baratheon for sure.
No, Stannis Baratheon.
I'm Lannis.
Lannis, Stannis,
Stannis Baratheon.
the Lannis Baratheon.
Yo, okay. Did you ask your parents where they got that from? Because I've literally never heard the name or the word Lannis before.
So, in my family, I guess, all the dads or all the males or whatever, first name is Robert, but the middle name was, I guess, different from most common names. So obviously mine's Lannis. My dad's middle name is Eldon, and then my grandfather's middle name is Nello.
Wow.
These are all Skyrim ass names.
Yeah.
And
so
I know that there's more. I just honestly don't remember. All of my grandparents were pretty much dead before I was born, except for my grandma on my mom's side.
So you have no idea where the root of the name came from.
No, I vaguely spoke with my parents about it when I was younger, but I haven't really tried to dig into it more since. So I just kind of leave it at that.
Cool. Well, tell us about yourself and what do you do on a daily basis? What's your creative flow? All that shit.
Day-to-day basis, honestly, just wake up whenever, I guess.
Nice.
You know, try to be a productive member of society. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck that. No, I wake up. I try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I go to the gym. I exercise, all that bullshit, and then I'm back in school now for engineering.
woo!
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah,
So I'm really excited about that. As far as my creative outlook, it's always been obviously drumming.
When'd you start drumming?
I started drumming when I was 19 years old.
Oh
Fuck,
wow,
really?
late bloomer.
Yeah, when I was younger, my dad had taught me how to somewhat play the bass guitar. He was a guitarist as well, and I did that for a little bit, and it was cool, but it didn't really I didn't really connect with it.
When you say younger, how old are you?
I was probably it was late elementary into middle school-ish. Probably.
Okay, so your early teens.
Yeah.
Formative years.
Okay.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah.
Like when I was a real shithead, you know?
Yeah.
Did you ever do drumline or anything like that?
No.
I'm
No
surprised.
drumline.
I'm surprised.
But
not.
I always when it came to like drumming, like I was always fucking just super fascinated in any music. Drums were just fucking cool. Like, and I always felt like I would be good at it if I felt like I would be naturally good at it, and I pursued it, and it, you know, I'm very extremely happy that I did.
I'm not saying this because I get to share the stage with you in creative space, but a lot of people that I talk to who know your style are very infatuated with it. And it's cool to me because you came from a heavy background, and you walking into this like rock and roll route is really fucking sick.
You know, it's funny you say that because even though I come from the heavier background with my previous bands, you know, being more in the metal genre, if you will, I've actually more been influenced mainly in terms of drumming by hip hop and rap.
I feel that.
I
feel that a lot.
There's something that about having like a really good pocket and groove that just fucking sounds cool.
It changes it from like this whole like jaw to the floor type thing to jaw to the floor and like how's he keeping up with that?
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
Well,
That's
it's we're all musicians. We all understand that it's easy to want to just you know, and just play all these notes. It's harder to be disciplined and play for the music and sit back and just fucking play what is necessary, not just throw up, you know? So when
Can we add a soundboard of clapping right here?
Yeah.
Like loudly.
I've always been told as a young musician as well, like when I was taking lessons and all that kind of stuff, that simplicity is better than technicality. Like, yeah, technicality is cool as shit, but like if you can keep, as far as guitar players go, if you can keep the rhythm going, like that's more important than shredding.
Totally.
So.
And you know, I as learning. Being mainly self-taught, other than going to like MI and whatnot and learning there, a drummer's role I've come to learn is not being choppy and shitty and you know playing all these fucking notes or whatever. It's, you know, you play an important role. You're the rock. You need to.
You're the backbone.
You're the backbone. Yeah, exactly. You need to support the rest of what the other instruments are doing and make those instruments shine.
Yep.
And sometimes it just is a simple 2 and 4 backbeat, whatever it is,
literally,
and that's it is. You know, that's what it is. And one thing I've always tried to hold in my mind is play for the song. That's it. Mm-hmm. Just play for the song.
Damn.
I remember when I met Rob, he was playing in another band called The Black Hand, and that's when he kind of came into the group. I was correct, right? The Black Hand, or is it just Black Hand?
It was Black Hands.
Black Hands.
Wait, fuck. Okay.
Dude,
you're right. I'm just kidding.
What?
Son
yes,
of a bitch.
The sticker says The Black Hand.
Yes, it was the Black Hand, which I didn't. I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, it was the Black Hand.
No, here's the thing. We're going to go into that eventually.
Cool. I mean,
later on.
If you want to. But when I first met you, you were in that band, and you're playing in the room across from Takers, and I hear you drumming, and I hear what
Across
you're...
from them?
Yeah, across the room.
They were literally... That's how I know him. I've known him for like 4 years.
No, but like, what does that mean? Like they were playing across?
In the lockout race.
Okay.
No, we would practice
with
at the same
Mela.
time in the same room, but
That's-
just across
Dude,
from each
full
other and try to
fucking
be
circle,
louder.
Man, I love that shit.
And then we did Empty Glow, and everyone was like, yo, Rob, do you want to be like...
I remember.
The
I
fucking-
specifically remember the moment we were sitting around in our room and their room was open because we would go back and forth. It's like we had 2 rooms, and we were like, oh, who's gonna fucking play the main character? I'm like, oh, you know who would play the main character really well? Rob. He's got a very emotive face. Hey, Rob, do you want to be in our music video? Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
And it just built off of that. That's
Yeah.
pretty much like the first time I've met Rob, and then ever since then, for some weird reason, I thought he was going to be in Takers. I thought he
Yeah.
was gonna be in Takers. I don't know
Bullshit.
why. I swear to God. And this isn't even for the fucking podcast. Like, you just seemed like very like in
Yo,
what we had
Well,
going or what they had going. Anything.
The thing about it, it wasn't about like I didn't look at Takers Leavers in that part in time as
You're like, man, they fucking
these
suck.
guys are fucking doing shit. To be honest, like I didn't really listen to Takers music much. Like there was something else that got me involved, and it was the human interaction between myself and the band, between David and the rest of the guys. And it was the rapport that we built over the years, being lockout neighbors and becoming friends and just hanging around and, laughing and whatever the fuck it was. That was more important to me than whatever style of music is being played.
Dude, absolutely.
Like,
100% agree with that.
One of the main reasons why I do music, aside from the creative outlook and, all that stuff, is the camaraderie. That is so much more important to me because it's brothers in arms. I come from a military background, so that is very important and close to my heart, so.
We'll definitely dive into a lot of that stuff, but I want to
Real quick question though. Maywell and Rob were not your guys' friends at first. At all.
What do you mean?
Like May
When I met him, I didn't like him.
No. Like when you guys
Fuck
you
these
guys were
guys.
just like lockout brothers. Is
We-
that how you guys met, or were you guys friends?
So I
much, yeah.
basically, yeah, like I remember when we
We played a couple of shows, I think, together.
no,
Black
dude,
Hand
no.
and then
You know
Takers?
what's
Yeah,
funny?
one or two.
No.
We did.
There was a couple shows.
there was
that-
a show that at Slide Bar,
was
the
in
Black
the-
Hand and Takers.
It was
Yeah.
either Slide or Malone's or
It
one
was
of the two.
Slide.
I know
Slide.
Because
we
I saw
played.
your fucking Black Hand on the drums.
Right, yeah. We also played a couple shows with
Yeah,
Billy's band. With
that's
Set
what I was
Sides,
gonna say.
yeah.
Is like the first time I ever heard of the Black Hand, didn't even know you and May were in the band, was on the On the Shoulders of Atlas final show.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
yeah.
and
Was
like
that for the old fashioned or was
no, that
It
was they were called the Black
I think
Hand.
we had transitioned to the Black Hand.
They
at
were
that-
called
at
that for
point.
sure.
Um,
But like I remember,
wild.
like dude, like the first time I met Rob, literally was at the Crystalia concert, and I was like, I'd never met this guy before, but like we hit it off like that instantly, and that was in March
So sick.
dude, you know
Last
what's
year?
funny?
of this year.
This
yeah,
year.
Like
before our
dude,
tour,
like
the day
like,
before the tour.
it was in
because
March.
when
Oh,
we
shit.
did the tour,
Of this
like
year.
it was like, here's Rob.
Yo, you know what's
Guy in
funny
the
is
band.
the first time we ever played a show with you guys, we weren't Takers Leavers. We were Lost in the Sound. We did
Losers,
an
Weavers?
Under Oath cover show, and you guys played
off,
that
Taker.
show.
Losers, weepers.
I don't remember that.
It was Slide Bar. That was the first time we
Dude,
played
I've played
together.
so many fucking goddamn shows at the Slide Bar.
I'm
don't
pretty
remember.
sure we all, played
have.
a lot of shows. At
I think
Slide
I've
Bar.
played a total
Me
of
too.
4, maybe 3.
I've probably played about
Not
3
that
or
many.
4,000, probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
something like that.
No, we for sure we've only played 2 shows together
Separately, yeah.
And the first one was that cover show, and the second one was it your last show with the Black Hand?
Actually, that's yeah. I always bring that up because it's fucking hilarious. It's ironic, actually. My last show, my last show with the Black Hand or whatever, before we decided to part ways or whatever, was at Slide Bar. And then my first show with Takers Leavers was at Slide Bar. Maywell's first show with Takers was at Slide Bar. So it's just like, well, fuck.
Shout out
dude,
to
you know?
Slide Bar.
Shout out to Slide
yo,
Bar.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Ramon for real for always being there for us.
Also, Mike, our other guitar player, his first show with us was at Slide
Slide
Bar
Bar.
as well.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Slide Bar is one of those places where you sharpen your teeth as a band.
A little bit, yeah.
That
totally.
chain
If you get on a good show at Slide Bar, that is
You put in
definitely
work,
you
yeah.
put in work at that. Because
Yeah.
the sound there is good. People usually roll out because it's a free event. You can drink while watching the show.
And it's rock and roll.
And it's personal. It's like it's in your face. It's right there. It's
Yeah.
like it's not.
Rock and
It's
roll.
not a huge venue. You know what I mean? Where like
It's small and it's intimate, but yet if you you will always sound good, and usually people, no matter where they're coming from, go to that show. Even if they don't know who you are, they will watch you, and usually they dig you.
Yeah. Cool. So we're gonna do like a quick little speed round of just random questions. We're on the topic of like music and all that good shit. Who's your favorite local band, your favorite big band, and your favorite album that was released recently? That's not an answer, dude.
Favorite local band right now, probably Mother Sound.
Sick. Shout out to
good
the
answer.
boys. Good dudes.
Those boys, they've been fucking trekking hard.
Yep.
They've had a lot of ups and downs. Shout out to my boy David. That guy fucking shreds
David
on the
Hicks
kid.
is
Rips,
the
man.
man, dude.
Dude, I love that guy. Favorite big band, like of all time?
Not of
Or-
all time, but I would say like right now, like a band
At the
that's really
moment.
killing it.
At the moment, I've been on a Polaris kick.
Hell yeah.
Polaris
I
is so
fucks-
good.
He-
I
dude.
Yeah.
really love their musicality, their lyricism.
Didn't I
fucking-
just show? Who did I just show that recently? Didn't I show you them?
Who, Polaris? No,
No,
I've been
no.
listening to Polaris.
Who did I just? Jordan. We showed Jordan Polaris the last time he was here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Polaris is one of those bands where I'll say it over and over. I am not a drummer, and I fucking am infatuated with drumming. That guy is one of the tightest drummers I've like heard, and it's just everything's so precisely placed. And then when you hear the instruments with it, you're just like,
Yeah, it's
fuck.
literally the musicality. Everything just fucking flows, dude. The voices that speak are so profound. It's awesome, dude.
Very true.
Like,
Yeah.
there's
I
not
agree.
a moment in any of their songs, like their album, The Mortal Coil.
was that with the Remedy on it?
Yeah, I believe so. Literally all of those fucking songs. That's
It
what I love.
smacks,
I love when
dude.
a band does that, where there's a lot of bands out there that will have like a few good songs in an album that they release, and they like
then
I
some
vibe to
fillers.
them.
Yeah, I was about to say they have a bunch of
when a-
filler songs and shit. Yeah.
When a band fucking releases a full length album and every fucking song is
is a banger.
fucking a banger, yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
Like I love that shit.
I agree.
Then what's your favorite album that was recently released? We'll give it like a 2-month like release mark, like within the past 2 months.
Shit, I don't know. I'd have to go back a little bit further for that because I have one in mind. But
Who?
What is it?
a band called the Dolly Thundering Concepts.
Yo, you showed me that. You showed us
Okay.
them on tour, and at one point, I think I was driving, going like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Yeah, dude, that band rips, man. They have a couple songs, I think, with a saxophonist in them,
but they're heavy.
but they're heavy as
Yeah.
fuck and
A
like
saxist?
rhythmic.
Yeah, like fucking like
A
Kenny
saxist.
Loggins.
But is that
and
the
shit.
word?
It's a
though?
saxophonist.
Is that the word?
A
A
saxist
saxophonist?
is somebody
Sax-
a
who's
saxophonist.
Is it a saxophonist?
yeah.
I guess.
Is that
Because-
it?
It's a saxophone.
It's a sacrilegious saxophonist. I don't know.
Oh my god!
Cue the boing.
Just fucking.
But yeah, that's probably one album. In fact, my old bandmate and dear friend Jeremy Grasso showed me that band, and I fell in love with them. Yeah, fucking amazing.
Sorry, we're laughing about the fact that
We
don't
made a
have
list.
number 2.
It goes.
Oh,
it goes
shit.
1, 3, 4, 5.
You know whose fault that is?
Oh, you guys don't do math good, huh?
We aren't math good people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring
Whoops.
you here all the way from Detroit. So you can figure
Good go.
Uh-oh.
I have a question for you. What band do you wish you were in, and what role would you play?
Well, drums would be the role. Obviously, that's my shit. But
Dude, are you sure? Because consider you can do anything and think of any
Yeah, it's a
band
hypothetical
who sounds
If you were
like.
to play in any band right now,
in
but
any,
like if you were to quit Takers Leavers and go pursue this,
But you're
band,
not going to quit Takers
and
Leavers,
no,
right?
no, but like no like offense needed because Billy's already said his
I
part.
have
He's
have
already
two
said he-
situations
yeah.
where I will bounce off of you.
Why don't you take the lead?
Okay,
just to
for
give an idea?
example, if I was to given the chance to play for any band and any instrument that I know I can play, two things
well,
come to
that's
mind.
what I'm saying.
Hold
Now
on.
you can, or
That you
just-
can. Like in the hypothetical situation where if I knew I could play drums, I mean, but
Okay, so
in this,
hypothetical.
so
Yeah,
for me,
you can play
so
it.
for
Or
me,
just something that you can already
hypothetically,
play.
but because these two things I know I can play, I would either play guitar for A Day to Remember or bass for Paramore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's what
And
I
then
would
he
love
would, like,
to do.
full send,
if
like,
I were to play drums for anybody, if I had the ability to play drums, I would play drums for Whitechapel.
That's sick.
Shout out to Ernie.
Good old boy Ernie.
Shout out to Ernie.
And Ben, but whatever.
Shout out to Ernie.
Freaking if I had the chance to be any member of a band, I would say I would be a vocalist for Linkin Park.
Oh
my
shit, my guy.
dude.
That's balls.
That is.
I knew I
That's a
fucked with
great
you.
answer, dude.
I fuck with you.
Now,
even
would
harder
you
now.
be like Chester or would you be Mike Shinoda?
both?
If it was a hypothetical, I would want to say Chester.
Okay.
Even though Mike Shinoda fucking rips, lyrically, and just how he spits his flows and
Fuck, man, I would love to
everything.
play guitar for Linkin Park. Holy shit.
But dude, like Linkin Park we grew up on that. Fucking,
Oh, yeah.
that
Hybrid
band.
Theory was like, I remember when
Yeah.
I was a
It
kid,
is-
my brother used to take me to get 3 records every birthday. And the first time he ever did that, I think it was like 9 or 10 or something.
Yeah.
And I got Diffuser,
Mm.
I got Sum 41's Fat Lip, and I got Hybrid Theory because I heard Crawling on the radio. And I was like,
Oh, dude, I fucking love that song.
whoa.
I remember seeing the
You
music
can
video.
yell and do that,
Yeah,
and
man.
it's on the radio,
Yeah,
and
dude.
people
That was wild.
like it.
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
I remember
Fuck me.
the first time I saw the music video for that song.
With the
and
fucking thing swirling
yeah,
down.
man.
dude, I got chills, and I was
that
just
was
like,
Yeah.
that was the shit, dude.
Honestly, as tacky as they are, for a while, I was like, I'm getting those flame tattoos, dude.
Right there.
Yeah,
Right on the
Yeah.
wrist, dude.
It's crazy because we were in San Diego and we were driving around and I forgot what song it was that I had it in my head. It popped in my head. A
Wait.
Place for my head is actually the name of the song. I wanna be in the
Yeah, that's it.
energy.
Correct.
I put it on and like there were parts where he's like screaming and I'm like, she's like, yo, that sounds like you, and I'm like, I did not realize like I was
For the
that
fucking
influenced.
record, real quick, that David Bakke sounds like a lot of vocalists. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Cool,
put
man.
that
No,
in there.
yeah,
Cool,
he does.
yeah.
Yeah, there's.
No, no.
There
It's
is
all
a
But that's like a
band-
good thing.
It's a good thing, yeah.
It's not a
It's
bad
not
thing.
bad.
It's not like
no,
a-
I take it as a good thing because I think some of my favorite artists I've been like, that person sounds like a cocktail of this person, and that person.
You know,
I think it's like one of the things that. Sorry, I'm sorry. I
you're
didn't mean
good.
to interrupt you. I
Stop
think.
fucking apologizing.
Oh my god! Sometimes I do that. Fuck. I think that like the way that I think of David's voice and how many other artists he can sound like is that he can reach the vocal ranges of those people.
That's
Which
cool.
is,
I would
like,
rather
super
do
sick.
that than be like you say your words and you sound like you're emulating an artist.
Yeah.
It's
I
like the
agree with
ranges that
too.
you could reach.
I'd rather fuck
You
with
can
the
go to
ranges
those.
than like
Yeah.
you
100% agree with that.
sounded- Thank you.
So on that
Thank you.
note, I want to say I've been listening to a playlist that I made comprised of just a few Under Oath songs that we were
Learning to cover.
learning to
yeah.
do the tribute cover or whatever. But a part of that was also the song "Exercise" from your older
Oh, the
album.
old EP, yeah.
And I listened to that. In fact, I was listening to it earlier today on the drive to LA with May. And every time I hear that song, if I didn't know you personally and I heard that, I would have listened to it as a professional record because of how your voice goes and how the lyricism and the emotion behind it. I listened to it, I'm like, fuck, this guy has some really good fucking talent in the way that he conveys what he's trying to convey. So it's really cool.
Fuck yeah,
you
dude.
know? So
Hey, do you want to start a band or something?
I mean, not really, but if it's, can we call it Park Lincoln?
Dude, honestly, I was honestly
Dude,
thinking
I
about
think that might be like a problem, but
Dude,
I really
wait.
kind of
I wanted to do
support that.
a
Yeah.
Creed cover band and call
nice.
it Dirk.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my.
So is that a yes?
That's a yes.
If I could be a vocalist for any band, since we're on the subject of that kind of, I would want to do vocals for Parkway Drive.
Dude,
Oh,
fuck
I
yes.
would love
Fuck
to.
Yes. Wait.
And you
Old Parkway Drive or newer Parkway Drive?
Up to Deep Blue.
Okay,
Parkway
that's fair.
Drive.
Killing with a
Including
Smile,
Deep Blue,
my
or-
favorite
Yeah,
album.
including Deep Blue. Like Killing with the Smile, Horizons, and Deep Blue. I mean, Atlas was good, but there's like, to me, and there's just no shade to them. It just wasn't my thing.
After a while, they became a arena metal.
Which is
band,
great.
which is
Ire is good, but
Yeah.
I
It's like
just
that's where you gotta go.
I
Yeah.
respect, like, before, like, you know, when we were all younger and we had our stigma in our minds of the band sounding like the bands like old Suicide Silence, for example, and then they dropped their self-title with
Like
like
Doris
Doris
and
and,
shit,
all that
yeah.
shit. You know, obviously every fan is gonna like, they want to hear that original sound.
Of course.
But us as musicians understand the progression that bands need to go through to elevate their career. You know, and it's okay, and I understand that, and I respect that fully, like completely.
Of course.
You know, like if it's what you want to do creatively, and it puts you more on the map, you know, for your career, by all means, fucking do it.
I always think about it as like a form of stagnancy. Like if I keep recreating the same thing, dude, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's like eating the same fucking meal
Here we
every
go with another
single
food analogy.
day.
Yeah, dude.
Food analogy.
But you
is
get
David.
it, all right? You get
Yes,
it. So
we get
It's
it.
like you're
It's
like
like-
a pizza. You fucking.
Everyone
You're
likes
like a
that
fucking
pizza.
cake with
Dude.
icing.
yo,
Everyone
I
likes
love
that
I love
pizza.
cake and I love pizza. I love pizza. I will eat pizza. but at
Sometimes
one
meat
point,
goes on
I
top.
want
Sometimes
fucking
you get put in the
noodles,
oven.
dude.
Sometimes.
I want
No, I get it.
want sushi. I want tacos. I want dynamic. The older I get, the more I realize like I don't want to do the same shit over and over. That's why we're doing this. I'm a fucking musician.
Yeah.
But I
And I'm
also,
a fucking piece of shit person. That
No, I want to say something real quick. That's what 100th did. That's like
I was
exactly
about to
what
ju- I was
100th
literally
did.
just
And
bringing
again,
up 100th.
no shade to 100th.
Dude,
no shade
Honestly,
to them at all.
Okay, I have like a super quick thing to say about that whole world. When bands still use their band name to make different music, people get upset. And
Yeah.
people are like, why did you stray towards like this kind of music? And that is like such a bug because it's like, why can't they be the same group and make a different kind of like music that like goes away from what they're originally about, and they can't still be like the same band? Everyone
Yeah.
was like, just change the name
Change
of
the name.
that side project, like
Which I sort of agreed with too, because when Suicide Silence dropped that EP with Doris and all that kind of stuff, people were like, well, this isn't even Suicide Silence anymore. They should just change their name. And while like I'm on the fence of that, like I 50-50 agree, and I also don't agree with it, because usually in bands like in that genre, like in the deathcore sound or like Parkway Drive or any of that kind of stuff, they'll do whatever it is they're going to do to progress their career, like you said. But then most of the time, bands like that go back to the old shit.
I have like something very
Yeah.
interesting that
And
I
that's
think
not
you
a-
guys could
that's
go
not a
off
bad
of
thing,
real
yeah.
quick. So I was on tour with Hands Like Houses, and me and the drummer Maddie were talking about something like that. And how are you going to, for the rest of your life after being big, be your own cover band and not move forward?
True.
Why are you gonna be
Whoa,
your own
That's a
cover
good
band?
one.
Yo,
You are literally
phrase,
covering your old
be your own
band.
cover band
Right.
actually blew my
It's
mind.
a fucking thing.
You know
and
who's
it's
like
like you
that?
can literally like
You know who's like that? Chelsea Grin. Because there's like no original members anymore besides the fucking bass player. I forgot his name, but like that's basically like they're pretty much a cover band.
That's pretty wild to think
they
about.
come into the
Because
band
they like
and
yes
later
that new lineup with like Tom and Steven and Pablo and the bass player, I forget his name. They have their own album with their songs, but for the most part, it's all the old lineup shit.
Okay,
that
so
they're
think about
playing.
this. Today, Morrow was telling me, he's like,
Wait,
man,
who's Morrow?
Morrow is the singer
Shout
of
out to Set Sites.
So he was saying something about
I hope he
like,
doesn't
you know,
listen to this
I'm
and gets
really like
pissed.
I'm really stoked to get all the new stuff out because everyone has just the heavy alt right now, but we want to get out that new stuff and everything. You know what I mean?
Can I
And
hop
imagine
in?
like you giving out the new stuff and like everyone's still like, "Oh, I think that we should." Okay, so Mara was talking about how he wants to get his new stuff out because he's, you know, he doesn't want everyone to just listen to the heavy alt. So like getting the new stuff out there to like make more people pumped is amazing, but it could be a different type of genre of music. So when it goes back to the whole point of like bands that like kind of go on a different path of what they're originally used to is a beautiful thing, but still using their name. So like you have like a side project, but within your whole entirety of a band, and you put it out and people are upset about that I think is ridiculous, because they should understand that like you're not going to just keep making the same music for the public. It's going to be for yourself as a band. And like when 100th came out with that new record, a lot of people were like, oh, that's very shoegazy and it's not as hard and all that shit. Like it's beautiful that it wasn't like that, because you come into this new album and you're like, okay, this is different, this is sick, and like they use their same name, and I'm super about having that.
I'd like to hop in on that because when Rob and Mayoel joined this band, we wrote some really fucking cool songs that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud to be a part of. And I get this itch to play it. And I get this... We literally 2 days ago or yesterday, we were like, yo, should we play one of these new songs? Mind you, I haven't even tracked the fucking vocals. And I get this desire to play new stuff and move the band in a direction to where it's like, okay, we need to keep this fucking boat rowing. To a certain extent, it's good to experiment and it's great to experiment. But when you get to a point where you're experimenting so beyond, I think my opinion is if it gets to a point where it's next level and a complete sidestep from what you've been doing with that name, I understand why certain fans would get upset. Now, personally, I look at bands like Thrice and see how far they've come and go, excuse me, and go how far they've come. They've transcended multiple genres.
Yeah.
There's a Thrice song for everybody.
That's what's Bring Me the Horizon too.
Exactly. And the thing is, you can go the route of hey, we're gonna do this side project and we're gonna tag it as something else, so we have two avenues of creativity, and maybe this avenue stems off something else and we have this still, and we can still satisfy these people, but we can still scratch this itch. The idea of being able to do that is just a different approach to creativity. But at the same time, when you have a momentum with something, why stay stagnant? If you believe in something so much, if like the name Takers Leavers, to me, like we can go in any different direction when we say it. It's not like a brutal metal name, or it's not a post-hardcore name or a hip-hop name. It's very obscure. So
it
you
should
can
be flexible.
Do anything.
It should be like, we can do this and we can do that and we can do whatever
But
the fuck we want.
That's the beauty of art, is that it's amoebic.
100%.
Is that it's ever changing, it's ever growing, and everyone that's creating art, you create art based off whatever it is that you're dealing with in your day-to-day life, and your day-to-day life always changes. You know what I mean? So these bands that go through these progressions and they decide to change their sound completely, do a 180 or whatever, you know, it's either based off they want to do something different artistically, or they're doing it to reach, attack
Just
a different
like
demographic.
Do a whole
you know?
like 180 on themselves and just be like, yo, let's do this. We all fuck with this. You guys fuck with this. Okay, then let's like do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's
the same
the beauty
name
of
is
it.
like attached. I actually like have like a super quick view on like culty bands, like
30
fans,
Seconds
the
to Mars or
culty
something
fans
like
of
that?
people's
Or
bands.
Cult fans.
Cult
not
fans,
bands.
cult fans, and
Pierce
that's
the
when,
Veil.
Pierce the Veil, or Set It Off, or
30 Seconds
whatever.
to Mars.
Of Mice and Men. and shit,
Mice and
too.
Men, like
Bring Me the Horizon.
You have like
Straight
a
up.
band, and then you become huge, right? So your whole band is like very like based off the people that are supporting you and your huge fans and shit. So you have all of that, and you guys already like you 5 or 4 or how many people are in your band, like you guys are very, very legit about what each and every single one of you guys want. So you guys are stuck with that, and you guys are ready to make that happen. The fucking thousands or hundreds of other people around you are the ones that are giving that like bad view of things, or the minor good things, or if you were going to change your sound. And like that really bugs, because when you have like the world that's like based around what you've made, to give the harsh criticism off of it just because of the old shit that they hear is like kind of rough on like your brains. Like,
well, yeah, because you're experimenting, and you're always gonna get this.
And then you guys like agree on
you've
something.
created something, and people love that, and then you create something different, and no matter what you've created here is going to be different than this.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you try to replicate it, it's like Deftones and White Pony. White Pony is one of those records where when people listen to it, it's like that was a monumental record for a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of peers, a lot of people I look up to as artists. You can't recreate that again. It's just, it was a time and it was a place.
And it was everything.
Eminem said that too. Like, I remember, like, after, forget which album he did, he was just saying, like, you know, I'm never going to do another Marshall Mathers LP. I'm never going to do another Slim Shady LP. Never going to do another Eminem show, because that's just not me anymore.
You can't, dude. Honestly,
You
like,
really can't recreate that a second
I read
time.
something about if I were to not stay true to myself, but if I were to continue doing the things that made people happy, I would be a very naive 28-year-old.
Of course.
I would be stuck in my 13-year-old ways or my
If you-
15-year-old
Art
ways.
if
is
you were-
supposed to be your own personal expression, and you're gonna do it however you're gonna want to do it. And if you do it with the mindset that you're doing it for other people, don't get me wrong, that is definitely a part of it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Exactly.
like, or the start of it, like, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it to express how you're feeling in that very moment, you know, that immediate sense of universe that you are in. You know what I mean? But if you're doing it with the mindset, like, I'm writing these songs so that these people are going to love it, well, then go write some fucking pop music.
Exactly.
Because people are going to love it, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, if you want to write something that the masses are going to want, then go do that if that's what your agenda is. But if you want to create art because you are feeling artistic and you have whatever emotions bottled up inside you and you want to express them musically, then do that. If there's going to be people that are going to like it, and there's going to be people that are going to fucking throw shade on it. That's just
Right.
how the world works.
So on that note, I want to dive into what inspired you to start doing art, and specifically drums. What was it that kind of careened you into that?
If there is like,
and also, who inspired you?
yeah, that's
Well, I've, like I said earlier, I've always thought in my mind, or in my own self, that drumming was somewhat of a calling, I guess. Like, I felt like it was something that I had to do, and I wanted to do it, and like I knew that if I did it, I would pick it up quick, and it just naturally come to me. And it's funny because, like, my first time on a drum set, yeah, I would be tripping over my sticks, and I didn't sound that great, but I understood the concept of it, like understanding, being able to separate my limbs and create a rhythm and do all that stuff. And there was something, how do I say, transcending about it, very supernatural about it, that, like, when I'm on the drums,
Do you feel like you're like a fucking alien when you're on the drums?
it's not that I feel like
Like an
I'm
octopus?
alien. It's
Or a squid?
okay. So here's a little bit of backstory. One of
Squid with a beard, dude.
one of the main reasons, aside from the artistic viewpoint of doing drums, was I come from I used to be a very hardcore drug addict. You know, I used to do heroin a lot, I'd put needles in my arm and do all these bad things. Drumming was my drug that I turned it into, and it was something that, when I'm on the drums, everything else in the world, any problem if I have, any depressing thought, any anxiety, any stress, anything, it's all gone. It's gone. When I'm on stage or when I'm behind the kit in the practice room, whatever, all that shit's gone. I'm not thinking about any of it, and I'm just focused on this, and it's like I feel like free. You know, I feel free of my own fucked up mind. And I'm extremely fortunate to have found that, you know, for myself. So that is one of those reasons why I do it. in terms of influence, I guess, I mean, there's I can name so many different drummers out there that have influenced me, but
The one that stuck out the most, even if
Doesn't
it's
have to
not
be a
one
drummer,
that you
though.
followed, the one that just kind of stuck out the most.
It could be anybody, not a drummer, that inspired you to do
Yeah.
it too.
honestly,
the one person that inspired you, and then the one drummer that inspired you, just like back to back. If you could just think of them, and it doesn't have to fucking.
you know, it's funny. It's like a name of someone that is famous or whatever doesn't come to mind. To be honest,
No drummer that you like looked up like a song on YouTube, how to drum this song by this person.
Well, I guess when I was younger, listening to like old hardcore records was something that really did that. Like a band called Throwdown.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
I remember that one was like straight fucking edge.
Yes.
You know, like
Dude.
there was
Yes.
that. There was you know, really old Stick
Can
to Your
we cue
Guns.
Throwdown?
Dude, absolutely.
You know, bands like that. Bands like As I Lay Dying.
Of course.
Like
94
old
Hours
As
was
yeah,
still
dude.
one of the
94 Hours
first,
was my
like,
shit.
Jesus.
dude.
But aside from like the more metal and hardcore, actually, one of like the first CDs I ever bought was X-Nay on the Hombre. Or no, I'm sorry,
And
Smash.
Offspring, dude?
The Offspring.
yeah.
I
Dude,
love
Hell
I fucking
yeah.
love
Great.
that.
You
band.
have a really special place in your heart for the Offspring.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because like I grew up with the Offspring, and for once I was able to shoot for the Offspring.
That's sick.
Twice.
That's
Yeah, I was
so
about to say
fucking
twice.
sick.
You know what's crazy is like, so I work at the Apple store, and this lady came in one day, and like I was helping her upgrade her phone. We were vibing, dude. Like she's like the sweet. She's telling me about her kids, and yeah, like my husband, he's really cool. And I started talking about like my band and what I do, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a singer and a guitar player. And she's like, oh, you're a guitar player, dude. Then my husband is too. Like you probably understand all this shit. We went down, like we like connected. I didn't ask her who her husband was at all. And at the end of it, I'm like, yo, you should stay in touch. I really like you. And she's like, yeah, for sure. Next time you guys play, let me know. I'm like, absolutely. She's like, maybe you might even know my husband. I'm like, oh, who's your husband? And she's like, well, he plays in a band called The Offspring. His name's Noodle. And I'm like, whoa, dude. And like, I literally told her, like, I grew up learning to play your husband's guitar licks, dude. I grew up listening to all of his records. And to just completely, like, dive into a band that, like, you grew up with, but have somebody, it's the idea of killing your idol and
Oh,
make
of
you feel
course.
like you're connected in a way.
Can
Yeah.
I
shit's
can I
dope.
can I say something too? Like
No.
one of my old jobs, my previous job that I used to work for 3 years at, one of the owners. There's 4 different families that own this restaurant, and one of those owners is Stan Fraser, who is the drummer of Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray, yeah.
And,
what the?
And like, you want to talk about killing your idols, dude? That
Every morning, sorry.
dude,
every
that
morning.
that was a trip because I literally the same as what David said. I grew up listening to Sugar Ray. I grew up listening to fucking Fly every morning, all that shit. And to be not only in the same room as him, but to be on like a first name basis, because he technically was my boss, and he would come in all the time, and his family would come in, and all that shit. And I'm just like, bro. And I like one day told him, I'm like, let me just say something real quick, dude. Like, I love Sugar Ray so much. So the fact that like I work for you and like I get to like talk to you, not just as a musician, but as like just to have normal conversations with this guy.
As a person, dude.
It's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy, dude.
For
Nicest
real.
guy.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's
so
cool.
so
Really
we mentioned you were in the military. We were all
I
very
wanted to
curious.
ask this question. All right, Mr. Rob.
What?
So, Mr. Rob, how did the military affect your musical life?
How
Why are
did
you
it-
laughing? That's
And
not
on that
funny.
note, we
You
have 5
asked it all
seconds
cute
left.
and shit.
All right, Mr. Rob, how did the military affect your musical life?
It lit a fire under my ass.
Okay.
Like a literal fire?
Meaning,
Dude, he ate a lot of hot tacos.
When I got out of the military, you know, I was going through a lot, obviously mentally and emotionally.
Can you tell us what you did in the military? What like your like the whole.
I'm curious.
I was in the United States Marine Corps. I was 0311 infantry. I was a 203 gunner for. I was stationed at Camp Pendleton at 64 area with 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, 1st Marine Regiment. Basically, I was a grunt. Just, you know,
Breaker of chains, the mother of dragons, first of his name. Fucking.
So, but the thing is like, military life. It was cool, and it taught me a lot of very important quality or virtues, if you will, or you know, discipline, this and that, whatever.
I was about to say discipline, yeah, for sure.
But
Beat
like
the shit out of you.
the reasons I went into the military weren't necessarily for my own. It was due more to an uncertainty in what I wanted in life. My dad was prior military, my sister was prior military, and I felt like that was something that I needed to do.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, because of that, did you feel like you had to like kind of fulfill that?
It wasn't necessarily that I had to fulfill it. It was at the time knowing that my dad and my sister had done military life that I should do it too.
Okay.
Like that.
Feeling like it was part of the bloodline almost.
It wasn't like part of, I guess, yeah, somewhat. It was, because like when I was younger, you know, the thought of joining the military was very exciting to me. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do this, you know, yada, yada. And it's funny because like originally I wanted to join the Air Force and I was stepped in, but I had gotten arrested when I was stepped in.
What'd you get arrested for, buddy?
I was stealing fishing reels from Sports Chalet.
Oh,
I
hold
knew it
on,
was
you
something
told
dumb.
me about this.
I knew it was something
Yeah,
dumb.
so-
Sports
so
Chalet.
I was
Take
with-
it to the
I was
limit.
with I was with an old friend of mine, my old childhood friend Jordan, and we decided to go in there and fucking shove these $500 fishing reels in our pants and try to walk out. And
Yeah,
as I'm walking out of this
real
fucking
exciting,
place,
cute earmuffs.
yeah, as I'm walking out of this place, this fucking big ass Samoan guy just fucking tackles me, and then I get handcuffed to a chair. Cops come, the whole bit. I get arrested and all that bullshit. Talk to my recruiter the next day or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, sorry,
Damn.
no room for you." I'm like, "All right, well, fuck." And at the time, two of my friends, Andrew and Nico, had already left for boot camp for the Marine Corps, and I was like, "Fuck, all right, I guess I'm doing it." So I went and spoke with the Marine Corps recruiter. In fact, their Marine Corps recruiter, Staff Sergeant Praxidis, I remember him. And probably it was December of 2007, I left to boot camp and then graduated, went to SOI, School of Infantry, broke my foot on the 20K hike 2 weeks prior to graduation, went to sick bay, got put in this big-ass boot with crutches, had to fucking walk around for about a month until I healed, and then I had to do School of Infantry all over again. And then I finally got to do the fleet, which was my duty station at 1st Battalion, 5th Marines on Camp Pendleton. And then, you know, time went by, you know, whatever, did my service, and then, yeah, you know, I military service was cool, but I met a lot of really cool people. You know, rest in peace to those that didn't come back. But you know, it wasn't who I was. Military life and all that, I thought it was. You know, but it wasn't.
Yeah, and now we know who you are now. So
Yeah, I'm
Rob plays a lot of video games.
and I'm a porn star.
he soon to be porn star.
He goes for the girth.
And so, what is your porn star name, Rob?
Dirk Diggler, but it was taken.
The
couldn't,
butt
That's a
tickler?
great movie, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking love
Oh,
Boogie
dude.
Nights. That's a
Yes.
great movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I got a weird question though. Is that actually Mark Wahlberg's dick?
I don't believe it is.
I don't believe
You
it is.
can't.
It's not-
You
it's not
can't
Mark Wahlberg's
fully
dick. I remember,
do that in
uh,
movies. Usually, when people have like their dicks out in movies, it is actually a mold.
So
It looked like a mold.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you.
So it's a
Titties
mold
are
of
like
their
more
dick?
real nowadays
What?
and shit.
It's a mold of their own
No,
dick?
no, I think it's a mold of just
it's
a
it's a
dick.
front suit. It's like
Got it.
it's like a mold of like a fake.
It's like a
beard.
dildo, pretty much.
well, shout out to Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark.
It's
It's no big deal.
It's-
It's no big deal. It was a mold of my dick. It might have not been my dick. Doesn't matter.
a.m.
Hey, here we go. It's me,
Just doing
Marky Mark.
push-ups. Just doing push-ups.
Just doing some push-ups.
What's going on?
All right. So the military definitely defined you as what? Go ahead.
So the military shaped you as a being, right?
What? As a bean or as a being?
Okay,
That's
hold
the
on.
same fucking thing.
I want to get into these because these are really cool.
I just really wanted to ask him one thing, and that is, what's your favorite conspiracy theory ever of all time?
My favorite conspiracy theory?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I know you like conspiracy theories.
That's a hard one because I'm a fan of a lot.
The one
I-
that you think about the most. That's like, what the fuck?
All right. Well, I guess one that I think about that I do research on actually a lot is the whole binary star system that we are in. I guess the conspiracy theorists would know it as the planet Nibiru, Planet X. The Bram Dwarf star and all that. I'm kind of a science nerd when it comes to like outer space and astrophysics and shit like that. So we don't know what the fuck is out there, and at the time also we don't really know what the fucking NASA and the media is really telling us if it's true or not and all that. So that to me, because like I think us as humans, we have an innate questioning of why are we here and what is our purpose, and is there more to this than just this rock that we are currently living on,
100%.
So yeah, that's probably one conspiracy that I think about.
I fuck with that comparatory.
Conspiracy.
I really fuck with that one.
All right. I'm gonna ask the next one if you're okay with that.
Go for it.
What's your fucking opinion on Nickelback, dude?
It's funny. They've had so much shade thrown at them. Look at this photograph. But like, look
at this graph.
Look at this
I'll tell
giraffe.
I'll tell you this right now. Growing up in high school, and when I first fucking heard those fucking hit songs come out, I didn't hate them.
No,
I actually
of
liked
course
them.
you didn't.
I vibed to it.
Dude.
I never hated Nickelback. And like the whole negative clout that they got, like, I didn't jump on that bandwagon. Like, I would laugh about it in conversations when, like, you'd be like, oh yeah, fuck Nickelback, blah, 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 whatever. But, dude, they're great musicians.
They write good.
Have you
fucking
heard those
music,
Fucking
man.
great riffs. And
Have you heard
fucking,
That fucking song that I was playing earlier called The Next Go Around, bro. This dude showed me that. I'm like, this is fucking... Dude, I showed that song to a coworker of mine, and she was like, I thought this was a Treyu.
Whoa,
Dude, that opening
Yo.
riff, like... Dude, that song, fucking the chorus of that song is it's literally one of the catchiest choruses I've ever heard in my entire life. Have you heard the song I've talked about?
Yeah, it's the one that was cute. Yeah.
Oh yeah, on the podcast you guys
yeah.
were on. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was like, this is crazy.
Did I remember? Like I told when we did that podcast. Shout out to Palapalooza and Troy. Thank you for having us. But thank you for giving me the stage to back Nickelback up, because when I first heard that song, I'm a big fan of a band called He Is Legend, and they're fucking heavy. It's like if Rob Zombie had really deep southern licks. But I was
love that
listening to
shit,
this
man.
fucking playlist, and dude, the song comes on. I'm like, damn, this song is fucking smashing right now. Who the fuck is this? And I looked at my phone, and it said Nickelback. And I was like... I'm going to look these lyrics up because I don't think this is Nickelback. Type. Looked it up. nah, that can't be Nickelback. YouTubed it. It was fucking Nickelback, dude.
Yeah, man.
And from then I was like, and I was in the same boat, dude. I never went like, innately fuck Nickelback. I was kind of like, haha, yeah, oh yeah, Nickelback. Look at this photograph. But at one point, I'm like, people are just trying to make it cool to hate on somebody's creativity.
That's the problem with society today. Fucking people love to gang up on people because it's fucking cool.
Yeah, well, dude,
Yeah,
that's the
man.
thing.
Dude, that's the thing. I literally I was like,
That was my
holy
line, by the way. I said that's the thing, and then you just said that's the thing.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, have you guys seen that video of Nickelback literally getting shit thrown at them on
Booed,
stage
yeah,
and booed off stage, and they're just like, "You guys ready to fucking rock?" And everyone's like, "No, fuck you," and throwing shit at them. And then Chad Kroger's like, "All right, well, see ya," and they just walk off stage.
That's class, dude. Because a lot
I
of
guess
our
that's
favorite
true.
bands have had
They've
that
done
happen
that.
to them. Like, I'm a big Coheed and Cambria fan.
Yeah,
when
you
they
were saying
opened
they
for
got booed
Slipknot,
off
dude, they got
stage.
booed off stage multiple times. But that's the thing. As a fan of both bands, it blows me away because if
Yeah.
you have diehard fans of something that just want to listen to one thing, that's why I don't like listening to one genre of music. That's why I
Right.
don't like being part of a clique of one genre. I'm a hardcore kid through and through, but I
Right.
also, one of my favorite bands is Death Cab for Cutie.
Dude,
Those are
great
two
band.
very different styles of music that if you can't appreciate, dude, like, you're straight up gonna have your musical intestines are gonna be clogged.
Yeah, no, for real.
You know, it's
And-
funny. Dave Elich, he's, I don't know if you guys know who that is.
I don't.
He's a drummer. Really super fucking talented. He
Just
played,
a drummer, not in a band, just like a.
No, he played for he played for Mars Volta at one point. He played for
Really?
Miley Cyrus.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a really talented guy. But I remember he did a clinic when I was at MI, and one of the things he was talking about was, he's like, dude, if you're not willing to try out other genres of music, you're missing out.
Yeah.
For
And
real.
it's fucking true, dude.
Straight
because
up. It's like, hey, you want to fuck Missionary or you want to do 69? There's so many different things you can fucking do.
Dude.
But you're just doing one thing.
Exactly.
And it does. There you go.
Now available on earmuffs.
That's the first non-food.
Dude, also, like, I'm sure everybody here can
Has done 69. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I mean, at
awesome,
least
dude.
once.
That's my favorite position,
Can't
actually.
thank
Imagine the
you.
dude on top.
I love eating pussy, I'm just saying.
How about this, though? Like, how many genres of music have you played drums for?
Actually, well, like in
Well, like, I'll
in a
give you,
band
okay, like,
setting?
for me, the first band I ever did was, like, a pop-punk band, like, you know, like Hit the
Same.
Lights and
Same.
shit.
Same.
And then I went into, like, heavier stuff, like, you know, like For the Fallen Dreams and Ghost Society type stuff. Now I play in, like, a rock and roll hardcore band.
That's literally
So
the
it's-
same progression I've done.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Started
like,
out pop
it
punk,
just happened.
Then went to, like, I guess metal, hardcore-ish, whatever. And
Right.
now I'm in a more rock and roll-ish
Yeah.
kind of vibe, you know.
You're fucking...
Post-hardcore,
fucking
he's
face.
like,
hardcore.
all right.
I got this.
Let's have Billy asking the question.
Let's talk about movies that
That's
cannot
what-
be made now.
Swoop!
Movies that...
By that, what I mean is this. We were talking about movies that were made 10 years ago, like Superbad, The Hangover.
How about this? We were watching Waterboy the other day, and we are like, dude,
Yeah,
no,
man.
half those lines could not be
They
said.
cannot
right
fly
now.
now.
Be said
yeah,
now. So, like,
I heard also that you've not seen that movie before until fucking you guys watched it
Yeah,
together?
the other night.
and
Yeah.
then
What the fuck is wrong with
She
you?
Okay.
literally was like, "Is that like when Adam Sandler would talk like mama like all that shit?" She's like, "Is that like how his character is supposed to be?" And I looked over and I'm like, "Yeah. Wait a minute. What do you mean?" She's like, "Is that like how he sounds throughout the entire movie?" And I'm like,
no,
Amber,
no,
have you
that's
never
not
seen-
what I said. That's
That-
not what I said.
it
I said,
kinda
is
was.
that no? I said, is that what you guys are imitating off of?
Oh, yeah, no, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because when we said, fuck, what was it?
You
It was
guys
a
were
specific
speaking back
line.
and forth once, and I was like, I didn't understand. But then when I saw that scene, I'm like, that's
Like,
what
Mama's
the fuck
wrong.
you guys were saying.
"Oh yeah, yeah,
He's like,
mama's
no, Colonel
wrong
Sanders,
again."
you're wrong.
Yeah, thank you, Billy,
That's
for
right.
your fucking fake analogy of that.
First off, wasn't an analogy. Didn't compare it to something else.
Wait, am I
didn't
dumb? Is analogy wrong?
pretty much.
Okay,
That's the word I was
a
looking
movie
for,
that
so,
you
yeah.
can think of that can't survive in 2019 but could survive in its personal time.
Like when it came out, it was like, oh, that movie's
Like
hilarious.
the-
But then you watch it now and you're like,
Yo, that couldn't fly now.
you can't
Yeah.
say that.
Like
shit.
literally, like what I was saying, super bad.
Like in terms of like PC,
Like the-
like
like, yeah.
movement.
yeah.
Anything.
Fuck. That's a.
One that you just think of yourself.
I have one movie that literally just came to mind. It was a scary movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's a
That definitely
good
couldn't.
I think like how fucking I guess derogatory or whatever that they had and like the just
The
ripping-
parody, it's a
that's
full-blown
the
parody, yeah.
full blown
Which gets me to think it's crazy because like back then parody movies were so fuck it. Like they were just like, let's parody everything.
Everything.
Let's parody mental, not just mental illness. Let's parody
Physical deformity.
physical deformities. Let's parody everything, and we laughed.
Dude, you know what? I just thought of what movie could not pass now? The Ringer. You ever seen that movie?
Oh, dude, with
that
fucking
movie-
Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah, that movie definitely couldn't fly now.
It's funny. I was literally like thinking about Trump when he fucking made
yeah.
fun of the disabled person.
Yeah.
Like and shit like that, and I'm thinking to myself like, how is this okay? Like how is he still our president when he's making fun of someone that is literally handicapped? Like what the fuck is
And how
wrong
did that
with our
slide?
fucking
Started
Yeah.
out
society?
in Hollywood.
Yeah, man.
You went out in Hollywood.
Yeah,
That
that's true.
that is allowed.
Yo, you guys have seen the movie Idiocracy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Do we not emulate that? All right, we've come to that point where we get to read our
Our
horoscopes.
You have co-star? All right, it's that time to read them.
All right.
Sit down, read your
Who wants to go
horoscopes.
first?
Let's have Rob go first since
Rob,
he's
you
the
go
guest.
Hold on, it's loading.
I just want to say this real quick. I'm kind of coming around the co-star.
I know you are, you fucking dirty bitch.
So wait,
I know.
What are we reading?
I know.
You
just
read the
gonna
light
your
bulb.
The light
You're reading
bulb.
a
Just the light bulb?
and
Yeah.
what you think it means
Oh
to
man,
your
mine's
life.
a good one.
Mine is kind of. Just go ahead, Rob.
Okay, well, mine says cast a spell.
Mine said that too before, dude.
Throw.
What does that mean?
What do you think it means?
What? Well, let me read the next part. It says today's moon transit is encouraging you to take advantage of creative flow. You're ready to get things done. Roll up your sleeves and do it. Organize your closet.
Same one.
Go for a run. Quit. Wait, hold on.
Cigarettes, whatever. Be strategic about it.
Yeah.
No way.
Same thing? That's weird.
That's insane.
Hey, you're in a safe place to reshape who you are.
That's like getting the same fortune cookie.
I think what it means. I think what it means. Not necessarily like literally cast a spell.
Wait, say that again.
Literally.
I love how differently people.
My
say
mom
that word.
says literally like that. She's like, literally. I'm like, are you fucking British, mom? Oh, literally? Gonna say it like this? Like,
Literally. I mean, whatever fucking blows your skirt up.
what the?
All right.
All right.
This podcast is over.
I don't know, man. I think it just. I don't like to base my fucking life off this, but I guess to answer the question of what I think it means, I think it just means put myself in a perspective where I'm going to succeed. I think that's what it means. I think it means
But what spell would you be casting?
it would be a spell of focus and drive to accomplish the things that I've set forth to do.
So when I hear the word spell, it gets me to think about you having the strength or ability to do something. Like when I think in terms of Harry Potter, right? They've mastered this ability to say, this is what I want to happen. You know what you want to happen. You know what your strengths are. And we've talked about this in terms of some of our bandmates and how we desire something out of certain people. Your ability to be aware of that, that's really interesting for me to like perceive because you have a strength and your ability is to kind of innately have your strength leak out into people. My discipline has sharpened since you've joined like the band. And I've noticed myself go, fuck, I need to work harder. I need to go in and work on my scales. I need to practice more and more. I need to focus on loading my, etc. That's a spell that you've casted innately. So it's interesting to see you perceive that and verbalize it.
I can agree with that. Definitely.
Cool.
Thank you.
Do you want a 69 now or?
Actually, can we 59?
Oh, God,
wow.
dude.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Tune in
It's
next
a
time.
69, but with drugs.
Oh, dude, yeah, because it takes off 10. You know what I mean? It gets you to shrivel down a little bit. That's the ultimate test.
You guys are gonna
Can you get
chub
hard
each
again?
other?
Dude, yeah.
You guys are gonna chub each other?
We're gonna
Are they
chub
gonna
each other.
what? Chub?
Whoa,
No,
dude.
no. We're not gonna chub each other. We're gonna chode each other.
Dude,
Oh my god.
All right, David, what does your co-star say?
mine says,
Bill's like, hurry the fuck up.
what if you began to practice unconditional gentleness with your friends? Fuck that. Fuck you. Fuck you. And especially fuck you. What I think that means though is I've always had this very dry, sarcastic, like I'll fuck with my friends and I'll say not mean shit, but I'll like we'll prod with each
Yeah.
other and we'll tease each other. But at the very core of like who I am, I like really like the people I love, the people I'm close to, I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure they're happy, healthy, fed, drunk if they drink, sober if they don't drink. I want to make sure they're good.
Right.
Unconditional gentleness is like my innate nature is to be gentle. But there are times where like the
Yeah,
shit that we go through kind of calluses us and makes us a little
Sure.
rigid. And I think I've got like we've all gone through shit, which makes us edgy a little bit. And I think right now I'm learning how to kind of pull away from that and stop letting that shit really get to me and not dull the blade, but put the blades away. So I think that's what it means. Like, learn to be openly loving with your friends.
Which you definitely are.
I hope so.
No, I'm speaking from personal experience. You are.
Nah, fuck that. He's a fucking prick.
Yeah. Okay, cool, dude. Hey, Billy, do you play the drums, man?
I can learn.
It's all good,
Very
dude.
fast.
See what I mean by he's a prick? Fucking as soon as he gets fucking like shat on, he's like, all right, well, fuck this guy. I'm gonna fucking.
Hey,
get
how do you
someone
know
new."
I don't like scat, dude?
That's right.
All right,
Don't
Amber.
know. Not
One
not
Baki,
right.
7 cups.
Anybody got a straw? Specifically a boba straw?
Ew.
And on that note, Amber?
I don't like mine.
Well, it doesn't matter if you don't like it. You have to read it.
Ask people for what you need as if you believe that the answer will always be yes.
That's pretty self-explanatory.
I mean,
What
I got a
do you
dildo
mean?
if you need it.
Yeah, me
Please?
That sounded
like,
so. Please,
Did you like deep fry it first?
What the
Frying.
fuck is wrong with you?
dude. She's into some shit, bruh.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Wait.
The last part of this is the only thing that's certain is the impermanence of existence.
That's actually pretty.
Try to interact honestly with reality every second of your life. Today, it may be challenging to connect with deeper truths through your imagination, sensitivity, and intuition. Push to collaborate on something you've wanted for a long time.
So
Obviously, I have problems.
So she's getting into beatboxing and she's always wanted to. There it is. Hey. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, she's not
Yeah.
bad.
And then we can do like swing down.
Drinking all the Modelo's with my fellows.
Oh my god.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't
I'm
rap.
so glad you're not a rapper, dude. That's so sick. Billy.
Look at his haircut.
Mine says
Oh, I thought I was gonna start rapping.
no. I'm not gonna start rapping.
Come on, I'll throw it on a beat.
No,
you read
not
it
gonna
to the
happen.
beat.
Nope.
Come on.
Mm-mm. My skin is way too white for that.
Hey man,
His
black
co-star
people
says,
are just white people, but black.
and if you like black on the lips,
Wow. Space person.
Space.
I can't say the last
Hey man,
part of it.
space
if
ninja.
you like black on the hips,
There you go. Okay,
Okay.
my co-star says, "Do you use gossip to secure your social position?"
Oh!
Dude, did we peek the mics?
That was funny.
No,
'cause
we
you-
didn't.
Yours
Yeah,
was a
seriously.
question.
Yeah.
You peeked the mic.
And it says today's moon transit is causing trouble and testing your patience. You're vacillating between a bored hyperconfidence and extreme insecurity. Take time for yourself and don't overindulge.
Yeah, you fat.
That's
ass.
fucking wrong. Well, to answer the question, no, I do not gossip to secure my social position because don't got one. So, no, I don't. However, I will say I do know people that do use gossip to secure some type of power over people. Now, I'm not going to say who, but I do know
Many.
people.
Can you look at the camera when you say it? I'm not going to say who, and just
I'm not going to say who,
oof.
but I do know many, many people that do. And I wish they would not because it's stupid.
I didn't even explain mine. I don't think. Did I?
It didn't really need explaining. Yours was pretty straightforward.
But you can explain it if you
You
like.
can if you want.
No, I don't want to.
Okay then. Well,
Anyways,
I'd like to read a little section of mine that is actually pretty interesting. It
Do
says
it.
you are in a
Do
safe
it.
place to reshape who you are. You may experience this as your self-confidence supporting your generosity. Don't be afraid to say the wrong thing, to reveal petty feelings, to have uninteresting thoughts. Now, I don't know what that means, America. I don't know what that means. But I do like the bit about you are in a safe place to reshape who you are. I think we should always feel that
Yeah, you definitely should.
because it goes back to that conversation about music and how it's okay to experiment with something else because at the end of the day, if you stay stagnant, you remain that same person. What the fuck is the point?
Yeah, I agree.
I want to experience something different. I want to become somebody different. I want to create something different. I want to go, damn, I didn't think I was capable of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, ugh, I'm never going to do that shit again.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
I feel that.
Actually, I kind of want to read one line of mine. This is revenge exists on the same plane as justice, fantasy. Acceptance of the void is the only strategy, but theory is always easier than practice.
And on that note, Rob, thank you for being a part of this. We're going to dive into a little segment we call earmuffs.
Wait, before we go, I want to ask one more question
Okay, yeah.
for all of us. What was the last movie that we saw that we thought was fucking sick? Go. I'll give my answer. I'll give right now is this movie called Before I Wake. I watched it 2 nights ago. It's fucking awesome.
That's the one with the kid where his dreams
Yes.
come reality. Yeah.
That movie was fucking crazy. It was really good.
just saw John Wick 3.
Oh,
last
dude,
night,
that's a great
and
movie.
I actually think that's probably one of the best fucking shot movies I've ever seen, with the fucking colors and obviously the fight scenes that last
Forever.
20 minutes each. Seriously, like Keanu Reeves,
You're America's person, dude. You're the people's people.
I cannot believe
I
the
agree.
shit
that
I've
guy's
seen.
that guy's fucking cool, dude.
That guy's the shit.
He is, man.
Yeah,
You guys
for
heard
On some
about,
shit,
how about
though.
that fucking time where his flight got delayed or whatever, and he ended up fucking driving in a car with other passengers or some shit. Like they had like a layover or whatever, and it was not too far from the destination. So he literally got into a car with random people and then fucking drove all the way over, and then just had a conversation with him on the way.
That's awesome.
That's fucking cool. You don't see a normal fucking celebrity or a celebrity of his stature.
Yeah, dude.
You know, doing something like that. You know, so
That's fucking Neo.
Yeah, exactly.
From the Matrix.
That's what I'm
Dude,
saying.
that's
Not just Neo,
fucking
but
Ted,
everything.
bro.
Yeah, it's
I had like
That's
Ted.
Ted.
I mean, yeah.
Dude.
But like,
No. Whoa. That's not Neo, dude.
I know it.
That's
I know.
Ted.
I understand.
And the fact that they're doing it again?
and the Matrix again too.
Yeah,
dude.
Oh my God.
dude. Fucking Matrix 4, dude. Yeah. But yeah, no, that guy's cool.
Have something to say. I thought did that peak? Did it peak?
You're good.
I had this fucking theory when I was watching John Wick 3 that ever since The Matrix, Keanu Reeves has been stuck in all of his characters in The Matrix. There's no way that John Wick 3's world is like real. So
you're
like
Oh,
saying
yeah,
all
I
of
see what
his
you're saying.
movies after have been part of the Matrix in
yes,
a weird way?
100%. I thought about this when I was watching that movie. That would be sick, right? Because, dude, in John Wick 3, there is a fucking part in this like train station,
Dude,
where they like stab people and then take them away, and then they stab someone and blah blah blah, and like no one sees anything. The whole movie, no other bystander sees these things, and I'm just like, what if ever since The Matrix, he's like just been in the Matrix, but in the movie realm, which is a great conspiracy theory to think about. That's
That
probably
brings-
not
that
real,
brings up
but
the
it's
whole,
really
I
great.
actually have
Simulation
I was
theory.
gonna say I have a question for you guys, and that is, what is your take on simulation theory?
Oh, I somewhat believe in it. Absolutely. There are certain days in my life where I'm like, dude, this is a fucking computer program, man. Like, we live literally in a computer program.
You posted something a while ago, and it fucked me up.
Oh, it was the
Mathematics is the code to the simulation theory that we live in. Mm-hmm. Fractals, sacred geometry, calculus, all of it is the coding, the ones and zeros of our world that defines it and makes it so. And ever since then, dude, I've wanted to delete you off of all social media. I've wanted to stop being friends with you. But the fact that you made my brain think that was like,
That is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my
Yeah, dude.
entire life.
Co-star, I just read it.
No. What's your movie?
Yeah, what's your movie, David?
Movie that I saw recently that I thought was fucking dope. I haven't seen like a brand new movie recently other than like Hereditary, which I was definitely kind of shocked by, and it really
Billy,
It
have
really-
you ever seen Hereditary? Have you seen that movie?
7 times in the
No.
past 4 months.
I don't think you've seen that movie.
It's
I don't think we've seen that movie.
but I like okay, yeah, well, you should watch it. But a movie that I'm always gonna be a huge fan of is Reservoir Dogs.
Great movie.
It's one of those movies where like I revisit maybe once a year, and I'm like,
God.
I remember I was a kid, dude, and my siblings pulled that movie up. I was technically not allowed to watch it because I was 5 fucking years old, and there's a lot of blood in it. But revisiting it periodically, I learn more and more about it, and it's just such a very well put together movie.
Quentin Tarantino, my guy.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
it.
Dude,
Quentin, I love you, dude.
Once
I'm
Upon a Time
really
in
big
Hollywood,
fan,
great
dude.
movie as
we
well.
oh dude, I haven't seen it, but we started our
So good.
first EP, that Filthy Animals EP, with a quote from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And that's where Filthy Animals, the name, came from.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. A pig is a filthy fucking animal.
Rob.
I honestly can't think of a movie that a newer movie.
You just saw Taxi the other day.
That you saw recently that you're like, damn, that was
Well, I mean, like a new movie.
Like,
that-
doesn't matter. Any movie.
a
But
new
if-
movie for you that you saw.
Well, I mean, if I were to choose a movie that stood out to me, it would have to be the movie Seven.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt,
Morgan
Morgan
Freeman.
Freeman. Yeah, that movie.
What's in the box?
Yeah, aside from that famous line, which is fucking amazing, and the fact that all the characters in that fucking movie were amazing, the concept behind the 7 deadly sins has really stood out to me. I mean, like, my whole right sleeve is all the 7 deadly sins.
There's a lot of ass and guns.
It's literally just
Gluttony,
anal. It's like
greed, I
7
see
different
that.
scenes of
it's,
anal.
it's definitely something that, like,
Lust.
I'm not a religious person.
Ass.
However, those sins, if you will, whatever you want to label them as, I feel that is something that us as humans are extremely guilty of, you know, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the awareness of those type of ways that people conduct themselves in society is mind-blowing. So that movie.
It's a great fucking movie, man. Great fucking movie.
All right.
Cool.
I'm going to.
And on that note-
It was me.
Oh, okay.
It's me. I gotta do it. Mr. Rob.
Jesus.
Sorry, dude.
Mr. Ronald McDonald.
Mr. Ronald McDonald.
Robald McDonald, dude. Oh no! Siri, change contact information for Lance.
No, don't.
And
Okay.
on that note,
Are you
we
calling
will.
it Ronald
Anyways.
McDonald? Great.
Robald McDonald.
Rombled?
Robald
Robald?
McDonald.
This is Morgan Freeman. And on that note, we will kiss this shit goodbye.
Let's all give a round of applause to Rob.
Rob.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Lannis McDonald.
We are actually gonna do another segment with Rob. Right
Hi.
now.
This is-
And it's
I'd like
called
to
Earbuds.
say
Earbuds.
I'm very excited for the segment because
This
him and I have
could be
had
great.
many conversations, and
Rob's sex
Same
life is about to
here,
become
bro.
your sex life. Are you ready?
Are you
And
loosen up your buttholes, America.
3, 2, 1.